I have come to this one understanding that most of the students face a difficulty when it comes to preparing current affairs per se. Because current affairs, generally students don't understand what to do. See, let me be very honest to you that there is no substitute to the newspaper. Newspaper has to be done every day. Every day it has to be read, and every day notes have to be made. This due diligence for 1 year is required. And any 1 day or 2 day that you miss, don't forget that somewhere in this country, there must be an aspirant who is your competitor who did not miss the newspaper that day. So you miss it for 2 days or 3 days. Your competitor does the newspaper for 2 days or 3 days. He gains an edge, you lose. So one thing you have to be very particular that first newspaper has to be done. Second is that it has to be done every day and minimum 365 days. That means 1 year, one full year. Your year may start today, your year may start any moment. That is up to you. If you have not read the newspaper till now, don't worry about what you have missed. Start from today so that you don't miss the subsequent part. So be clear on that. Second thing is, when it comes to newspaper, there are 2-3 things that generally people do, which in my belief are somehow, as I personally call my opinion, is not right. One is that people start cutting the newspaper articles. So they cut newspaper articles, they keep those articles by underlining them. Don't do all that. It's not required. You have to know what UPSC wants to ask you with respect to current affairs. You have to understand what is their requirement and do what they want you to do, not what you like doing. So number one, no cutting of the articles. Number two, at the same time, some people say that, we will read the newspaper where somebody teaches us. See, somebody can only teach you newspaper reading in 1 day. It's a 1 day job. I can stand here with you for 5-6 hours and make you have the newspaper in the class, and we all can, develop that ability in 1 day itself. But if you come to this conclusion that somebody has to be there with me in my newspaper journey for 300 days, then it's a wrong approach. It's not the right thing. So you have to understand, you have to take charge of the newspaper. It's not a difficult thing. It's for common citizens, alert, educated citizens who have to read the news every day. Now, how do you read the newspaper? You see, let's understand what difficulty you encounter first. Your difficulty is that when you start your preparation, you open the newspaper the very first day. Why? Because you have heard from some online, offline thing that, newspaper has to be read daily. Now you open the newspaper, you suddenly read the article. In the article, it is written that, in Damascus, there has been some bombing. Now you don't know what is this. You don't understand that. Next article you go, it says that RBI has increased the repo rate, the markets have crashed because of that. You don't understand that also. So 2-3 days when you read, you don't understand. When you don't understand, what is the recourse? What is the step you take? The step you take is you go online and you start doing 2-3 things. Initially, when the aspirants are new, I have seen what they do is that new aspirants will start researching things. So they will go to Google, they will type repo rate, impact on Indian economy. Now you are from engineering background or you are from, say, humanities background where you have never read economics in your life. So what happens in this scenario? You get lost in the ocean. You don't understand. After 2-3 hours of research, nothing comes out of it. Time is waste, nothing is achievable. Similarly, you read, as I said, something about some bombing in Damascus. ISIS is doing bombing in Damascus. No, you don't know what is ISIS. Why is it doing bombing in Damascus? But you go to Google, you type ISIS doing bombing in Damascus, articles come and all that, and nothing happens out of it. So let's understand, Google research of newspaper is not required. What is there in the newspaper should be limited only to the newspaper. But now you will say you will have a problem. Problem is that, if I am reading only the newspaper, then I don't understand things which are there. It's fine. It's for everybody. So if you don't understand the newspaper, there is no problem. 3 things you have to do. Step number 1, first and foremost, do your economics. Economics is very, very crucial before you start reading newspaper. When I teach my students, I tell them, for first 3 months of your preparation, don't read newspaper. For first 3 months, no newspaper reading. Why I tell them? Because I tell them in 3 months, you have to finish 3 subjects. The first subject is economics. Why economics? 50% newspaper has economics news. 50% government policies are related to economics. If you don't have complete background and complete knowledge of economics, you will have a lot of difficulty. So without having complete idea of economics, newspaper reading will always be incomplete. You will always take recourse of internet or some teacher. Otherwise, if your knowledge of economics is good, you can manage the newspaper your way. Second, step number 2 is to complete your polity. Step number 2 is polity. Take 1 full month, prepare polity on your own. Read the basic books which are available for polity. And the step number 3 is international relations. If you look at international relations, Indian polity, international relations, and economics, these 3 subjects which are there, they comprise 95% of your newspaper every day. Newspaper every day is actually 95% of these 3 subjects coming with a fresh edition every day updated. And trust me, you do these 3 subjects, master them first, then go to read the newspaper, and I guarantee you, I assure you, 95% of the things coming in the newspaper will make sense to you. That is the time you will understand I don't need a teacher for newspaper. That is the time you will understand I don't need any support for newspaper because I can do it myself. But if you don't do these 3 steps, you will not only struggle in reading the newspaper. I am sorry also to say, it may sound as a little bad thing for you, but without these 3 subjects, if your newspaper is not happening, and because of these 3 subjects, your newspaper per se is also not happening, you will take multiple attempts only to pass this exam.